Okay, so last time we got our bird flying towards our treasure chest, but I did say I'd like to make a few tweaks to it because it wasn't quite perfect, and we wanted to get a spawning in system. So in this video, I'm going to try and make maybe like a spin, so it's like an animation, and I'm going to get the bird spawning in as well, so you can navigate us. All right, so let's start by editing the bird, shall we? So I'm just going to pull up my blueprint for my bird. Now, the thing is with this is we might have got multiple treasure chests in our world, right? Because the world's going to be massive at some point. We'll make the world huge and we'll hide these treasures everywhere. And there's a few things we're going to want. We're going to want birds to spawn in and go to where we go, but we're also not going to want them to make us travel like the entire length of the map. So we're going to have to check that as well. So inside the bird, what we're gonna do is let's start by just pulling these over here, right? And let's get the length, because first of all we're gonna want to find out how many treasure chests we have in our scene. At the moment I just put 3 in there, but you know, they could be 10 or 1. Doesn't particularly matter. If you've only got 1 treasure chest in your scene, you can skip this whole part. And from this we're gonna want to do a for loop. Don't put that as the first index, put that as the last index, because that's going to tell us the length. So this is going to run for how many of these we have in our scene. We're going to want a get. Let's get a copy, and that is going to be from this index here. So the index, so for each time it runs there, it's going to say for this treasure chest do this, for this treasure chest do this, for this treasure chest blah 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 blah. Right, and we're going to want to, let's get distance 2. Well, I'm just going to hold Alt and break that out of actor. Target's actually going to be ourself. You know, it already says self, but you can type in self if you want to. So, what is the distance between ourself, the bird, and the treasure chest? And let's just say, if it's less than 2,000, and again, we can tweak that number. If it's less than 2,000, then I want you to fly. But if it's greater than 2,000, just destroy yourself. Cool. Now we've already got the flying system over here, so we could probably just bung that back in over there. And that wants to be, we broke that, didn't we? Let's get back in there, and index wants to be in there. So that, in theory, should, when it begins play, how many treasure chests have we got? Cool, let's test every single one of those treasure chests. So let's say, if this treasure chest is over 2,000 units away from the treasure chest, then destroy itself. But if it's within 2,000 units, then fly towards the treasure chest. Cool. Okay. All right. All right. A bit messy to think about, but hopefully that should work. Let's go to our player. Next, we actually want the birds to spawn. Now, I'm going to go to my viewport. I'm actually going to just throw an arrow down. So let's just search for an arrow, because we don't actually want to see the bird spawning. That would look weird. So I'm actually just going to put them like just behind the player, and maybe off to the side a little bit as well. Cool. So I'm just sort of putting an arrow loosely behind the player. Actually, put it closer to the camera as well, because we don't actually want to see it. Cool. So if we look through that camera, hopefully that should be good. And again, we'll have to tweak and refine that. Let's go to our event begin play, follow that all the way to the end, and let's create a timer. Set event by timer. Set timer by events even. Now, how often do we want to spawn these birds? Just for the sake of this test, I'm going to spawn them every 2 seconds. Let's create a custom event, which we'll call spawner. And we should call it bird spawner. But what are you going to do? Oh, let's make sure it's looping. And we want to spawn actor of class. And that's going to be our birdo. And where do we want to spawn it? Well, is it arrow 2? I think it was arrow 2. It must be arrow 2. Let's get arrow 2. And let's get world transform. And let's plug you in there. Alright. Let's see how this is going to look, shall we? So, our initial bed's still working. Okay. And it's spawning. Okay. Let's attach it to the camera, not to our mesh, because we can actually see him spawning. We'll do that in a minute. Why aren't they moving? Let's bring back your bird, and actually, if you click on your bird itself and just search for the word AI, let's make sure it's possessed. So, auto possessed as soon as it's spawned or placed in world. And remember last time we had that issue where if the box wasn't touching the floor, it didn't work. So let's just bring the height back up on that. I don't know, 200, and we'll just put sort of the mesh within it. Alright, so spawn bird spawn. Cool. The birds are now spawning, and they're flying to a treasure chest. But what if we're further than 2,000 units away? So you can see birds are no longer spawning. Whereabouts is 2,000 units? We had to probably put a print string on this to make sure. Oop, there we go, spawning again. So that's about this distance, which works for the sake of this test. I mean, too many birds. But actually, in like a big server open world game, we probably want that to be a much greater unit. So let's actually, for now, we'll just put that to 3. But later on, we'll when we make the world open, we'll have to check that. So this time, let's when our birds actually get to our treasure chest, let's have them do like a spin in the air. We don't actually need all these treasure chests. I'm just going to get rid of some. Let's have it do a spin when it gets above it, to let the player know. Oh, and let's also hide them real quick. So at the moment that they're spawning from this arrow, we're actually going to make that arrow follow the camera. So I'm going to attach it to the camera. So now we should never see the bird spawn, because they'll be spawning behind us. They're colliding with the camera, which is annoying, but what we're going to do, so I'm just going to quickly click on camera boom and just do a quick temporary fix where I'm going to untick do collision test. Oh, you know, I'm going to leave that back on. I'm just going to go back to the birdo. I'm going to get the mesh, and I'm going to tell it not to have collision, but just to overlap. Can I do that? No, because it's actually the capsule component. Yeah, I'm just going to turn off collision test. Do collision test on this. And that should stop doing the weird sort of like visual glitch that keeps happening. Go there. Okay, let's slow them down, add an animation. I know this one's been a bit of a complicated one. So we're spawning too many of these right now. Let's do it every 5 seconds for the sake of this. And let's go back to our bird folder. I remember we've got this like 20-second thing, this 20-second animation here. So I'm just going to duplicate that like we did before. Spin. And let's go BA for bird animation. Open that up. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, no more than 4 seconds. I'll tweak this. What I'm going to do now is set up just a simple animation, but and then I'm going to add it to the game, tell it to play the animation. So feel free to skip ahead while I animate the bird. too fast. I want this to actually occur about 1 second-ish. Even that's a bit too fast. But over there, you over there. Let's see. That'll do. Actually, should have gone further out with that. That's terrible. Oops. You know what? For now, that's going to do. Just going to shrink it down a bit. And it's crashed. And through the powers of magical editing, I have now recovered, well, redone the animation. So there we go, the bird will now go to position and do a loop around. So save that, and let's quickly go back to our bird, who at this point, frankly, I'm sick of looking at. And then when it gets there, we're going to replace this with our play animation. So drag reference to your meshing and say play animation, and it's going to be the swoop bird, or bird spin even. Oh my god, don't crash again. Oh, phew. Just a moment to hold your breath. Do that, and then oh wait, we want to do that before the delay. My bad. On success, do that. I think it's like 3 seconds long. I think it was 2 seconds, and then I slowed it down. So I think it's 3.2 seconds long. You might just have to like eyeball this. And then again, switch back to its normal animation. Sometimes Control D just doesn't work. Okay, let's have a look at this so we can see it and then move on with our lives. Gets to place, spins around. Cool. That'll do. I'm going to make the jump a bit less strong. Jump, because it goes up too high. Jump velocity, set that to maybe 3. Take that down by 1. I'm going to just increase the speed as well a little bit. So when it's 200, make that like 250. Alright. Here we go. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. We have a bird. Animation's probably too fast. I think I'd like it to spin a bit slower. I think I still would like the speed a touch higher. But these are sort of fine tweaks that you can make. So you can speed up and slow down your animation here. I slowed mine down to 0.5 because it's a bit fast. So I'm just going to slow it down a touch more still. And don't forget to adjust your delay. A lot better. Apart from it, you know, it doesn't look up as it flies away, but I'm done, man. I'm done. What are you going to do? Alright, thanks for watching that.